Welcome to Genesis Contracting. This brief video will give you a little more information about the company and the job you're applying to. Genesis is located in Northwest Ohio, a small suburb of Toledo called Holland. However, most of our guys work or live outside of Ohio and other states across the country. When Genesis started in 1998, we were considered a petroleum company. Most of our work involved doing underground storage tanks, above ground storage tanks, basically what you would consider, just your normal everyday gas stations. We did a lot of these for the military as well, as you can see. This is a bulk fueling facility for military vehicles with several above ground storage tanks. The work we did was install the tanks. We did all the mechanical work, the piping, installed the dispensers, the canopy, and the concrete work. In 2013, we started a compressed natural gas division. We saw that there was a rising need for alternative fuel. We got connected with a company and started doing CNG work. As you can see, there's still a fueling system back in the compound, as well as a canopy and dispensers. On the right, these are slow fill posts, which again fill the vehicles with compressed natural gas overnight. In 2015, we actually started doing hydrogen. Hydrogen is very similar to CNG as far as everything that needs to be done. You set up a compound. You run stainless steel tubing across the roof and you drop it down into the distribution centers, and you see on the right hand side there's a hydrogen dispenser that's located there. We started doing hydrogen in 2015. This last year we were subcontracting out a lot of our electrical work and decided it was a good idea to go ahead and start doing that work ourselves. So we started an electrical division. Now we have several employees that are electricians that we now do that work ourselves. And in 2021, we decided to go and do the same thing with our concrete division. We were subcontracting out a lot of our work, so we decided to go ahead and keep it in-house and do the concrete work ourselves. So where do we work? We work all across the United States. As you can see in this map, the states that are highlighted in red are states we've worked in over the last 2 years. So again, we try to keep guys close to their home base of where they're located out of, but that doesn't always work. So it just depends on where the work is. So the areas of work within the company, we actually do full site construction, turnkey operation, where we go in, we pour the concrete, we set the equipment, we run all the lines over to the distribution center, and then we run stainless steel tubing across the roofs and drop them down and connect the dispensers inside. We also do building modification. If someone's installing CNG into their building, we also have started doing maintenance, where we have 2 guys in a truck travel around. You might do a breaker swap or compressor swap, so you might be at a job site for 2 days and then go on to the next site. And as mentioned, we just started our electrical division as well as our concrete division because we were doing we were subcontracting so much of that work out. So about the job itself, you'll typically be working with 2 to 8 guys, depending on what division you're working in or what part of the company. Our typical work week is you'll be working 5 10-hour days and a half day on Saturday. So about 50 to 55 hours per week. That's not guaranteed, but it doesn't make sense to have you on the road and then have you work 40 hours. So you'll be doing different work every day. If you're interviewing for an electrician position or a concrete finisher or a mechanical, it doesn't mean you're going to be doing that every day, all day. Again, if concrete work is done, you might help pull stainless steel tubing. You might go help pull wire. So even though you're hired for a specific task or a specific job, if you don't have any work in that area that day, you might be helping do something else. So same thing with electrician. If you're an electrician, you might be helping in another area. You still will get your same rate of pay. Your rate of pay doesn't change. Whatever your rate of pay is, that's what you get paid. Just as a note, safety is our number one priority. So we'd rather you take a few extra minutes and do a job safely rather than try to take a shortcut. This is a common question. People ask if they need to bring their tools. You do not. We will provide the tools for you, which is kind of a benefit because then you don't have to go and drag your tools through the airport when you go to a job. So another typical question is, well, how often can you travel home? You can travel home as often as you want. It doesn't make sense probably to go home every week, but there's guys that go home every 3 weeks. There's guys that go home every 2 to 3 months. It just depends on you and your situation and what you want to do. So the reality of it is this is a road warrior position. You're working on the road. And we realize this isn't for everyone. If you're not willing to work on the road, then this isn't a job for you. We try to, again, keep guys close to their home when possible. If you live in Florida, if we're doing a job in Florida, we're going to try to keep you in Florida if possible. However, that's not always possible for us to do. However, don't forget you're given a $500 per month travel stipend, and that money is used for when you travel from the job site home or from home to the job site. And you can travel home whenever you want or whenever is needed. You have a family, birthday, a baptism, something that you need to get home for, you can. You just need to schedule that with your site lead so they can coordinate the activities going on at the job site. You could also have people come and visit you. Instead of you going home, if you're in an interesting location, have people come and visit you. That's completely an option. So about the benefits, you obviously get your hourly rate. You also will get your overtime pay. You get your $500 per month travel stipend I mentioned. You get vacation pay. Right now, that is 1 week per month for the first 2 years. 1 week per year for the first year and the second year, and then you go to 2 weeks per year starting in year 3. You also get a $5,500 per year insurance stipend. This isn't meant to pay for all of your insurance. It's meant to offset it. Some guys have insurance that they pay for, so this helps offset it. Some might be on their spouse's insurance, and some guys just pocket the money and then pay for any hospital or doctor bills with that money. I'm not going to ask you for a receipt. That's your money to use how you see fit. It's paid every 2 weeks with your payroll. We use a app called ClockShark for you to clock in and clock out. So we give you $50 per month cell phone stipend. And again, this isn't meant to pay for your entire cell phone bill. It's meant to offset it. We pay $37 per day per diem, and that's meant for your meals and incidental expenses. So whenever your head hits the pillow in a hotel, you will get $37. That per diem check is paid every 2 weeks, opposite of payroll. So 2 weeks you get payroll, and the next week you get per diem. Next week you get payroll, next week you get per diem. So every week you have money going into your bank account. Per diem, if you're out for 14 days, is $500 and some dollars. Hotels are paid for by the company. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. So I went ahead and put together a small sample of the benefits. If you were earning, let's say, $24 per hour, you've got your pay, your overtime, your travel stipend, vacation pay, health insurance, cell phone, and per diems. And so the total benefits package is going to be somewhere around $88,000 in this scenario that I've put together. Okay, so hotels. Hotels we stay in are typically going to be Best Western, Quality Inn, Comfort Inn, something at that level. What I can tell you is we do not stay in hotels with colors or numbers. So in other words, you're not going to stay in a Motel 6, Super 8, or Red Roof Inn. You're not going to be staying in those type, right? What the site leads have been doing lately is whenever we're on a full job site, we might be out there for 5 to 6 weeks. Then the site a lot of times we'll get an Airbnb, a house, so everybody has their own room. Because in a hotel, typically you're going to be bunking with someone. But if they get an Airbnb, they try to get it to where everybody has their own room, which is kind of nice. Again, that's not guaranteed, but that's something they've been doing because the guys seem to like that. So some other important information you need to know. You need to have a valid driver's license. You need to be able to be added to our company insurance, which means they will do a check to see if you have any tickets, DUIs, etc. You need to be able to pass a background check. We work on sites that require background checks at times, so you need to be able to pass that. You need to be willing to take a random drug test. You need to own a smartphone, and you need to know how to book an airline ticket and be okay with flying. So anyway, if you don't know how to do that, that's obviously something we can help you with to get started. But that's something, again, when you book your flights home and from home back to the job site, you'll need to book your own airline tickets. We will provide you $200 towards your first flight traveling to the job site in order to help you out once you book it and get to the job site. We'll do a reimbursement for that, up to $200. Again, we can talk about that a little bit more in the interview. So now that you know a little bit more about Genesis, are you still interested in joining our team? If you're interested, please reach out to me so we can set up a phone interview, because I would love to get to talk to you and get to know a little bit more about you since I've told you a little bit about us as a company. So have a great day, and hopefully we will be talking to you soon.